And this thing here is called a Bedini SSG, which stands for a Simplified Schoolgirl motor. It was designed by John Bedini, who back in the early 1970s began studying Tesla technology as a young man. And it didn't take him too long. He was considered an electronic genius. People in the 70s and 80s might know the brand name of really high-end stereo equipment with the name Bedini on it. And anyway, he got into Tesla technology and developed motors that, some of the motors he's developed, and there are publications that show photographs of them, are capable of running a home, an office, but because of the threats that he's had to endure over the years, he keeps a pretty low profile. And rather than producing these units himself, he's published books that tell how to do it. And there's also a forum on the internet called the Bedini Monopole 3, which you can join and you can learn how to make this simple motor. Now this motor, the only kind of work that people have put it to use is as they'll put fan blades on the spokes, and it can work as a fan and charge batteries. But the beauty of it is that it demonstrates the principle of over unity. In other words, the measurable energy going in is less than the measurable energy going out. And it's not to say that it's requiring less energy to run than it's putting out. It's just that it's drawing upon environmental energy, which Tesla called radiant energy, and some people, like Gene Manning was saying, is called cold electricity. I've had this motor running for 6 weeks, and what happens, the way it works is this battery over here is the running battery, and it runs this electromagnetic coil, and this electromagnetic coil switches on and off, which attracts the magnets, and by the time the magnets get, it has 16 magnets around the perimeter. By the time it gets to the coil, the transistor shuts off the current flow to it, or voltage flow, I should say, and so you have a collapsing magnetic field. And the collapsing magnetic field, because it's in sharp spikes, causes the charging of this battery over here. And so the over unity principle is by measuring the voltage and current coming out of the running battery and measuring the voltage and current going into the charging battery, you compare the two, and if it's working right, the power coming out into the charging battery is greater than the power in the running battery. I started this up Thursday night with these small, they look like motorcycle batteries, I'm not sure what they're used for, and it's been running continuously since then. And I took measurements at that time, and then this morning when I came in I took some more measurements, and we're going to let it run throughout the whole event and find out at the end of tomorrow what the two batteries measure and see if it's producing over unity. Now, it has in the past, and when I was at the Ruskin event down in Florida, Jake Wall, the guy who did the motor scooter presentation, took measurements on it, and we demonstrated to a crowd of people that it was producing a greater output energy than the measurable input energy.
And you're starting off with the battery on the right, our right, being low, right? You know, they're not just two batteries. One of them is dead, a good battery is dead, and the other one's a fully charged battery.
Exactly. Now, if we'd started with this battery fully charged to begin with, there's such a thing as overcharging the battery, and I have no voltage regulator on this thing, and I could damage or destroy this battery by doing so. So I asked Larry to, Larry Jarbo had donated these two batteries for this demonstration, and they had been sitting idle for, I guess, maybe a couple years or so.
2 years, both batteries were down around 12.15. They were brand new batteries they bought for an electric vehicle. Hawker batteries, real strong batteries. One I left at 12.15, you know, both were down.
life is almost over. And he also claims that if, that after charging with this method, that it's a little bit more difficult to charge the battery with the regular trickle charge. I think assuming these are, I believe these statements by Bedini to be true, and assuming that they are true, they are clues to how the energy is extracted, and they are clues that they're real data, they're actual evidence, not where you don't have to consider his so-called friend Bearden's curved space time thingy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the beauty of radiant energy. There are a lot of phenomena surrounding large radiant energy fields, and one of the things that happens with lead-acid batteries in particular, Tesla technology is particularly friendly with lead-acid batteries. And what happens is that as long as no cells are shorted out, it will desulfate the plates, and in desulfating the plates, it will restore a battery almost to new condition. Not only will it restore it, but it will extend its life. Some of the lead-acid batteries have been extended for 10 or 15 years.
Bedini claims at least twice the initial useful life.
Yeah.
But it didn't, when we tried our experiments with the gel batteries, we didn't get great results for some reason.
Yeah, gel batteries are a different type of battery, even though they use a hydrochloric acid electrolyte. It's a gel-like electrolyte, but the liquid electrolytes in the most common car batteries is the kind of electrolyte that responds best to the radiant energy. So that's one of the things. In fact, Bedini sells radiant battery chargers, and that's the only product that he's put on the market. Although he has other products that, if he got them on the market, would provide us with free energy, obviously.